Welcome to Coastal Living. You know, there are so many great things happening in our community, and there's surely power in numbers. Today, we're going to visit with our friend Terry from Their Day Foundation, partnering with the Ready or Not Foundation to raise funds to build an all-inclusive play park for our children, those that are sensory sensitive, neurodivergent, and even handicapped. So we're very, very excited for this opportunity to donate. We'll talk about that in today's show. Plus, I have a delicious recipe. You've probably seen it online, a salmon bowl. Ooh, guys, this is chef's kiss. It came out so good. I can't wait to share it with you. So thanks for joining us. We have that and so much more to talk about on Coastal Living. Welcome to February. We are 5 days into the second month of 2025. I can't believe it. It is flying by. So let's check in. How is that resolution going? Have you or are you about to give up on it? I know many of us are, but here's the deal. You got to be patient and stick with it. We are learning that forming healthy new habits takes a little longer than you might have thought. New research states that new habits typically take around 2 months to ingrain and can take as long as a year to stick. Not those 2 weeks that we were taught before. Speaking of habits, we all know that sleep is precious, and ideally you'd be getting 7 to 8 hours per night. So if your New Year's resolution involves getting more rest, here's a tip, and I know we're all guilty: leave your phone in another room. Yes, that's a hard ask, especially since most of us use it as an alarm clock, but the old ones do still exist. Some suggest using just a traditional alarm clock. They say that could help you sleep better because leaving your phone in another room reduces the chance of it distracting you. Plus, you don't have all those signals from your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth interrupting. You're also not exposed to that blue light right before bed. Experts say a traditional alarm also might make it less tempting to hit snooze repeatedly. You don't have as much variety on those alarms. That one's going to wake you up for sure. So cheers to 7 to 8 hours of sleep and resetting on those resolutions. Let's stick it out for the entire year. Today in Clarissa's Kitchen, we are trying the viral Salmon Crunch Bowl. This recipe did not disappoint. Here's what you need: jasmine rice, edamame, rice vinegar, sesame seed oil, honey, momofuku, chili crunch, some carrot, cucumber, green onion, jalapeno, and avocado. Let's go! Cube up your salmon. If you can tell, this salmon was not the best quality. I wasn't crazy about it. Get you a good quality salmon. Then we're gonna throw in our jasmine rice and get that cooking. While that's boiling, in the meantime, we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of your sesame oil, another tablespoon of your rice vinegar, about 1.5 tablespoons or 2 of honey, depending on how sweet and thick you want that sauce to be. This chili crunch is so good. It's not too spicy, but y'all know where I am on spice level, so don't take my word for it. Sample it first, but any kind of a hot oil is gonna be really tasty on here. Mix that all together, get your air fryer pan ready, and toss that in. Now, I will tell you what I learned from this was that my sheet wasn't great. That sheet, I feel, kept my salmon from frying all the way around, so I ended up removing it halfway. You can also cook your salmon on the stovetop. Once that rice is cooked, we're gonna lay it in a pan, cover it with oil, and pop it back in the oven. Why? Because for this recipe, it's supposed to be crunchy, so we're gonna overcook the rice and get it a little crunchy. You can also just leave the rice as is. It's gonna taste delicious. Then we're gonna cut up our veggies. We're cubing up our avocado, taking care of that cucumber, throwing in some green onion as well, and whatever other toppings you wanna add. I prepped my carrots, I got my spicy ready, so I went in for the serrano peppers. If you want jalapeno, if you don't like spice, maybe you can take the seeds out, but y'all know how I roll. We're gonna assemble our bowl now. I threw my jasmine rice in there, a hefty serving of the edamame cooked. Then we went in with some cucumber. I like the skin on, so I kept that on there, and some salmon. So you can see it's a little toasty on each side. It was actually really good. I just would have liked for it to be a little more evenly cooked. So next time I'm doing it on the stovetop, so I have a little more control there. And just keep adding your toppings. So we're gonna throw in some carrots, some julienne carrots. We're gonna throw in some jalapeno, some of our green onion as well. Don't forget to add your sesame seeds. That does add to that Asian flavor. I like to use the everything but the bagel flavor, and some sriracha. You can also top everything with a little bit more of that sauce if you want to just mix it all together and throw it on. It's a delicious cooking sauce on literally anything. This bowl came out amazing. It's super high protein. It's really healthy, a really clean dish. I suggest this for a meal prep or a really yummy creative dinner for you and the family. Enjoy! These days, we're becoming more and more mindful of the importance of inclusivity across the board, right? Well, today I have Terry Mills here with Their Day Foundation, partnering up with the Ready or Not Foundation to build, get this, an all-inclusive park. All the kids, sensory-friendly, handicap accessible, and I am so excited to share this movement with everybody. So Terry, talk to me about how this came to fruition and how we can help as a community.
First of all, Clarissa, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I want to share this information with you as well as our audience. This came together talking with former County Judge Barbara Canales about an idea that we had to make a park for everybody, whether you have neurodiversities, some type of missing limbs, or in a wheelchair, whatever the disability is. We want to pay forward for the community because we don't have something like that here. Now, we do have some parks, but they're not 100% sensory type.
Yes.
This will be 100% sensory with the cushion foam, with the different type of playground equipment, so forth and so on. And it's just amazing.
A beautiful concept, and we've seen the success in other cities, and we're inspired by that success and inspired by the inclusivity. Again, especially as a parent, I think realizing, gosh, there aren't a lot of resources for me here. What can I do to keep my child entertained and make them understand that they are a part of this community and that they are loved? So what is it, and how can we get involved?
Next week, on Thursday and Friday, which is going to be the 13th and 14th at Luby's Cafeteria on Saratoga, they're going to give 15% of their total sales back to us to go toward the equipment. 100%. That 100% goes toward the equipment, goes toward the playground, and we're so excited. And I want to thank Mr. Medina and Mr. Romero from Luby's. Because when we approached them with the idea, they loved it. And they wanted to make a difference. What a way to make a difference. And not only that, we want to have high attendance both days.
Of course. And what a great cause. Hopefully this inspires more people to reach out, get in touch with you, and find ways to donate. So if we can make it to Luby's, great. That's on the 13th and 14th. If we can't make it that day, how can we donate directly? Or if you have a big title sponsored, I know you have a few tiers that we can donate at.
We have several tiers that you can donate at. You can hit us up on our website, DearDayFoundation.org, our Instagram at Their Day Foundation, Facebook, Their Day Foundation, LLC.
Beautiful.
And we have the QR code out there. If you want to reach me directly, 361-548-9489. Again, there's 361-548-9489. You say, you know what, I want to just email him, DearDayFoundation@gmail.com. And you know what I like about this? This is a community event. It's not a Clarissa event, it's not a Terry, it's all of us take ownership of this.
Absolutely.
And the good thing about it, you have companies that are saying, you know what, we're going to jump on board. You know, we have to raise $650,000. That is not a lot of money. When you put it, compare it to a child that needs to go somewhere that's in a wheelchair that would like to swing in one of those special built swings.
Of course.
That's nothing. What a way to make a big difference.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of companies that say, we do this, we do that. Put your checkbook to your mouth.
I love that. Yeah.
Put your checkbook to your mouth. Yes, because you know what? And I'm not putting nobody down. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. People brag and advertise. Come brag with us.
Yeah.
Come brag with us. Come brag for that child that's in the wheelchair. Come brag for that child that don't have no limbs. Come brag for that child that has cancer. Just come brag and help us out. Brag, okay?
Brag with your wallet, okay?
Yes.
And help donate to this great cause.
Or your debit or credit card.
Anything. Yeah. Cash
anything.
App, Zelle. We'll take the money. We'll figure it out.
Venmo, baby. Venmo.
So you have all the information you need there on your screen, and let's all donate to this incredible cause and help make a difference in our community. Thank you
thank you so much. I thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Of course. We are back and the doctor is in the house. Today we're visiting with Dr. Alexander to talk about scoliosis here at South Texas Brain and Spine Center. Now, my father actually was born with scoliosis, so I'm excited to learn a little more on this topic. Is it still common? Is it something that we don't see as much of? Because I feel like I don't hear the term as often.
It is pretty common. Typically they diagnose them very young.
So is this a genetic, something that is carried on in your family, or is it something that you can randomly be born with?
It's both. You can be both environmental. So if you push yourself, do manual labor, lift things incorrectly with your back and not your knees, you cause more stress on the spine and puts you at increased risk for having a degenerative scoliosis.
Okay, so it can be developed later in life too. It's not always something that you're just born with.
Correct.
Interesting. Okay, so how is scoliosis treated? I know there's a lot of technology these days, but we always talk about the steel rod in my dad's back from when he was little. So what does that look like?
So typically it all depends. So in younger patients, we can actually try an brace to see if we can mold the spine or stop the scoliosis progression. If the progression gets to a point where it causes deformity or causes severe pain, those are the patients we do surgery. So it all depends on your degree of curvature, which is your scoliosis, and through symptoms.
Okay, and I think about my kids, and of course we don't want our kids to go through any pain. That's our life's job, is to keep them away from danger. Is that something that's painful, treating scoliosis in kids, when you try to do it non-surgically?
It's wearing a cumbersome brace. So some kids will wear the brace, some kids don't. Sometimes it doesn't work.
That's like wearing your retainer, right? Like you got to keep it consistent.
Correct.
Very interesting.
And sometimes if you do surgery earlier when they're younger, they can tolerate it better, they can get a better correction. So it depends on the degree of scoliosis.
Absolutely, and kids are very resilient. We know that from a few that have bumped their head a few times, right? Myself included. So talk to me about other degenerative diseases that you're able to treat here at your location.
Cool. So we have, this is a model of the spine. So the most common in adults that causes back pain is called spondylolisthesis, which means spine slippage, where the spine is disaligned. Typically, we're pretty conservative. You would go for injections with pain management. Typically, we also refer you to physical therapy, trying different medications. If we fail all that, then we typically go to surgery.
Okay.
If you have like weakness or numbness, or sciatica like pain, those are the patients that we would treat surgically if they're not responding to conservative treatment.
Very, very interesting. And what are these other two gadgets that we're looking at here? Some other strategies?
So you always hear a bad rapport on spinal surgery, and everyone gives their 2 cents, and they don't live how the patients are living it. So you see patients that have pain for they're in a wheelchair. I had a patient that did surgery on yesterday, and she actually had a large skull-like deformity. She came in almost paraplegic, and you don't want to get to that point because then it takes much, much longer to recover, and you might not recover. So it's that fine balance. The nerve, if it's damaged, it can be permanently damaged. It won't recover. So you got to get to the nerve and decompress it, stabilize it as soon as possible on certain patients. So this is screws from the back we put in. We can actually go from the side and do a small incision and put a minimally invasive cage and a little plate and screws. So it all depends on the patient on how we can treat it.
Very interesting. Okay, so the common misconception that you have to be a specialist for this, but they can actually treat these things right here at South Texas Brain and Spine Center. So stop by, give them a call, and as usual, mention that Coastal Living sent you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coastal Living's Doctor in the House is paid for by South Texas Brain and Spine Center.
Great start, and we're learning so much on today's show. If you are in the market for a new home, do not outlaw the manufactured homes. They have some really wonderful features. They are affordable, and they can squeeze into that timeline and budget that is in your comfort zone. So stay with us. We've got more details on that and more. My friends here at Palm Harbor Homes, and today we are focused on getting you into the home of your dreams. Do not be discouraged by the interest rates or however you hear the market is right now, because Alex is the GM at Palm Harbor Homes, and he says we can make it happen. Alex, talk to me. What kind of magic do you have for us today?
Well, I'll tell you what. The reason why we can make it happen is we've taken time to study the market, right? We understand where the rates are. They're obviously affecting everybody. Right? It's something that people are just choosing not to buy a home at this time because of those things, right? We can't have that, right? We don't want that. This is what we like to do is solve the problem for you guys. So we were able to look at what people are dealing with these interest rates, and we were able to adjust the prices of our homes and our strategic focus. We were able to adjust that to make sure we would still be able to reach the customer base and be that affordable marketing.
Fantastic. So you're able to kind of offset those interest rates. And of course, as we know from previous times here, the most important thing is to make sure that you are pre-qualified. You need that pre-approval letter before you come in. However, it doesn't hurt to come and kind of scope out the different options, see what you can visualize yourself in. Now, regardless of what we get pre-qualified for, if we have our heart set on a particular size or maybe a certain amount of bedrooms, do you have enough options to make our dreams into a reality?
I mean, definitely. I mean, we have over 150 floor plans here, and you know, just like the family of floor plans, that'll offer one floor plan to look at where we can build it in multiple different sizes.
Okay.
It's something we really pride ourselves on. It will show a customer what the home will look like and also build off of it as well too.
Very cool. So when we come in to look for a home and say we're not even pre-qualified yet, but we asked to talk to the big dog Alex. Alex, I saw you on Coastal Living and you said you can put me into my dream home. What does the process look like at that point?
I mean, basically what you'll do is you'll come in, we do a free financial analysis.
Oh, great.
Right, which is huge. This is going to give you a lot of the answers that most people are kind of have swirling around in their heads.
Sure.
You know, where's my credit score at? You know, what are my rates going to be? What is my monthly payment going to look like, right? We're going to tackle all that stuff with you right here, right in person. We think it's very, very, very important to understand who we're dealing with and vice versa, right? So we'll attack that right there. That's a huge part of our process. And then obviously after we get all that stuff, we're going to come outside, take a look at some homes, right? That's the reason why these people are coming to the center. And then after that, we price it down. And usually when it's something that the customer loves, it works out perfectly.
We're able to make it happen.
It works out perfectly fine.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, it's the same thing as us like avoiding the doctor when you know something's going on, you need to go check it out. Don't be intimidated or discouraged to at least come and start the conversation. Even if you're not ready to purchase a home right then and there, at least you have a better grasp of, like you said, what your payments look like. How long will it take you to reach those goals to save up for your deposit, your down payment, all those great things. And they have everything that you need here to help you at Palm Harbor Homes. So tell me where we can go for more information. How do we get in touch with you?
Well, you guys can always give us a call here at the store. The number is 361-289-2422, or you can go to the website. It's palmharborcc.com.
Fantastic. Okay, stop by, ask for Alex or anybody on this incredible team, and when you do, tell them Coastal Living sent you. They'll take extra good care of you. Thank you.
This is Coastal Bend History.
All right, we're going to have a little history quiz here. You ever heard of the Donegan House? Give up? You know, it's the one on Ocean Drive by the curb. This one right here. Well, this palatial home was once called the Castle by the hometowners, and we're going to talk about it on today's Coastal Bend History.
The Donegan home is the huge white mansion on Ocean Drive's S-curve. It was built in 1933 on the site where the majestic Alta Vista Hotel once stood, but the hotel burned down in 1927. But to tell the story of the house properly, we need to start with the story of the man it's named after. Barton Donegan was born in Turkey way back in 1867, one of 5 children whose father was a wealthy silkworm merchant. The Donegans were Armenians who were routinely persecuted by the Turks. That's why the Donegan family immigrated to the U.S. in 1882. When his father died in 1900, Barton Donegan invested in properties around Corpus Christi. In 1907, he built the State Hotel on the corner of Mesquite and Star. It was Corpus Christi's first modern hotel. Barton Donegan got married, and his wife Anna gave birth to 5 children. Donegan built a home for his family called Alta Vista Place. It was one of the first homes to be built on Ocean Drive, and to this day, it's the most recognizable home in the city. Barton Donegan died in his palatial home on June 7, 1943. He was 77. But the Donegan home isn't the only mark that Barton Donegan left on Corpus Christi. In addition to the State Hotel that he built, Donegan also owned a building behind the hotel at Lower Broadway and Star. That building still stands. Another Donegan building that is still standing is at 1312 Agnes, known as the V.M. Donegan Block. It was built in 1941. The Donegan children were also well known in Corpus Christi. Two of them continued running the State Hotel and managed their father's other properties. Another Donegan son named Parnot Donegan had a lifelong passion for bowling and is considered the father of bowling in Corpus Christi.
Well, there's a lot more to the story of Vartan Donegan and his family and this home. And if you want to learn more about the Donegan family, all you have to do is go to our website, christv.com, click on the Coastal Bend History tab, and there'll be all the stories, including this one. Or you can click on the QR code you see on your screen, because that's going to take you to the same location. Until next time, I'm Andy Lascano.
Interested in growing your business? Coastal Living can help. Email us at advertise@coastallivingtv.com or scan the QR code on your screen for more.
Today. Thank you so much for joining us. If you try that salmon bowl recipe, you better let me know. In the meantime, we do want to encourage you to go out to Luby's on February 13th and 14th to support this great cause for that all-inclusive children's park out by the Richard M. Borchard Fairgrounds. What a fantastic idea, and something that we certainly need here in the Coastal Bend. Let's keep the conversation going online at Coastal Living TV on Facebook and Instagram. Tomorrow we're going to get a head start for the big game. Whether you're entertaining or heading out, we've got all the necessities for you. So we'll see you then. Thanks for watching Coastal Living.